All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I'm a little busy today, but I'm going to try to make a quick one here. I'm going to cover MAXN and HOLO together. Really, it's the same thoughts for both, so I'll chapter those together. And then I'm going to give SAVA a little love. And actually, it wasn't that long ago I was asked about SAVA middle of July, and man, lo and behold, it did way better than that little thing that I drew right there, right? So I'll get into that one shortly. But if you've never been here before, very quickly, what do we have? We have 5 moving averages, all right? I draw manual support and resistance lines. We're going to look at daily and weekly charts, and then when we're done on the top, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as a lower indicator. Real quick, if you can please subscribe, share this video. Oh man, it does wonders with the algorithms. I can't believe I crossed 4,000 subscribers here sometime last week. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. All right, so really quickly, all right, there are not a lot of stocks that can get 400 million shares on a single day. All right, and this thing actually did it back to back right here. All right, monster volume. All right, when I look at HOLO, not quite 400, but I'm telling you, 100 million shares on a single day is ridiculous. Let's just look at the weekly really quick. You can see that's the 100 million line right there. For an entire 5-day span, this thing basically can't get 100 million. Lo and behold, we get it on a single day here, right? So 400 million, 100 million, I'm telling you, those are big, wild numbers. And hey, those are things that get people's attention, all right? The other thing that they have in common is, look, they're relatively inexpensive stocks. I don't want to call them cheap. I think that's an inappropriate word, but yeah, a lot of people see 45 cents and think to themselves, "Oh my, that's low," right? You look at MAXN, you see 19 cents. Oh my, that seems really low, especially as I zoom out, and I see what this thing was at 50 back in the day. Listen to me. I can't, I'm never here to tell you buy, sell, or hold, all right? I'm just some dude on the internet looking at these colorful lines and trying to give you as close to an unbiased opinion as humanly possible, right? I lost so much money back in the day because I wanted 200 shares of a $1 stock instead of 1 share of a $200 stock. End of the day, it's the same $200, and man, things like this, I remember playing these back in the day. Again, I see the volume. I see it is hard. Volume is king. That is something I say. That's a rule of mine, right? But the other rule, and you hear me say I live and die by the lines a lot, when you can't get over the 8 and the 20, it's really hard to expect good things. And just look at this HOLO chart. Basically, most of the year, we have been well under those lines. Really, as I just keep zooming out, we're basically completely under them, except for a few moments here and there, and then right back under, right? When I look at MAXN, same thing, right? We're just basically under the 8 most of the time, all right? There is a thing that happens where you fall from the 8, you come to the 8, and then you kind of fall again, come to, fall again, come to. Right now we're still here, but I think I'm a little bit worried that we keep testing this 19-cent line. If we lose this line, it is going to be a scary thing down, all right? I don't like the fact that the green over red is not the same. I like it when they're both saying the same thing. That's why I have these two together, right? I see green over red, but I also see red over green right here. Very healthy number, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I talk about healthy cool downs. There's something called an unhealthy cool up, right? You're oversold, you need to come back up just so that you can go back down, right? So right now, to me, we're under the 8 and the 20. I don't like that. On HOLO, right now, we're under the 8. We're not even getting over the 20, right? We're not even getting close to the 20, excuse me, is what I was trying to say. Again, same kind of thing, right? MACD is nicely green over red. It's so horizontal here. I think I see red over green, but again, whatever, right? On both, I think the technicals are the same, right? Until we can get over the 8 moving average, I would not consider this stock. In fact, all I'm watching is this thing go down, all-time lows, right? So it is wildly important that this thing gets over 52 maybe 53 cents. All right. I think roughly, and again, there's different risk tolerances in how you do it, but I think there's reason to say maybe this is going to be the money line, this 59 cents. So again, I'm not here pretending to know the math, but this orange line is coming down, our 20 moving average, right? And I think in a couple days, we'll basically get to that. If we can get over 58 cents, I think then holo would be an interesting move. Look, to some people, going from 40 something all the way to that 58 is a good move, right? There's different ways to trade every single stock, right? But yeah, I think I would want to get over both the 8 and the 20 on this one, hopefully ride it all the way up to the 50. Look, there's a lot of red that could be green, and I see this stock's ability to get big volume, but the problem is it's just a little too random for me, right? Basically the exact same thoughts with MAXN. All right, we were hoping to get over the 8 and go to the 20. Couldn't get over the 8, couldn't. Right here, we're basically at a point where they're both together, and I don't think I would touch this thing unless we can get over 24 cents. To some people, again, hey, maybe going from this 19 to something around that would be good. But me, I would rather get in over 24 and hopefully ride on our way on up to that 44 cents. And I remember that 44 cents came from a weekly candle. That's where you see we got that from. And hey, looks like the 8 moving average is eventually going to get there. Now, look, we need to break this soon because just take a look. The 8 comes down a lot quicker. The 20 eventually makes its way down. The 50 is working its way down. And if it takes too long, it's going to come down very, very quickly. And that run from the 20 to the 50 is not going to be as great as it was. But yeah, it's hard to like this thing under 24 cents. So I've got those numbers there. And really, this thing is testing an all-time low number. Like I said, you lose 19, and that's going to be scary. Holo is already kind of riding down all-time lows, and it actually looks like, what did you open at? 44? We're at least over that 44 cent line. So really, they're both basically on that all-time low line, give or take, all right? So volume is king. Volume is queen for my ladies out there, all right? But to me, I'm never here to tell you what to do with your money. I want to stress that one more time, but the cheapness of a stock, a low price and a lot of shares doesn't always work out the way you think it would. Trust me, I would be living a completely different life if that was the case. And I laugh at myself, I'm telling you right there, all right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Let's take a look at SAVA, all right? And I started the video with it. This wasn't even a SAVA post, right? But I'm telling you, you can always do this to me, right? Just ask me about a stock. I do my very, very best to give you at least a quick screenshot if I'll make a video that obviously works out for everyone, right? But SAVA came to me around this 15th candle, all right? And you can see the thoughts. It's pushing a break of the 8 moving average, has me thinking going to the 20, right? These are words I say on every single video, right? It couldn't quite do that, and my goodness, what a drop. I don't even think I saw that thing happen, man. Someone mentioned it today. I did not see the last few days, but look at a few things that I say all the time. That's scary. That's for sure scary, but we don't let a single candle get us excited on the way up. We don't let a single candle scare us on the way down. Believe me, a gap down under a moving average, putting you under them all, oh, I would probably get scared right there. I'm not trying to pretend. It's easier to say those words than actually do it when your money's there. I believe me, I know that, all right? But that's not confirmation that we lost it, all right? That's nice. Couldn't. That's the power of the 8 and the 20. When you have them both, I say this on the way up, when they're, let's just find a good example. When there's too many too tight, man, it's hard to get over it. And very quickly, you do end up losing it. When there's a couple that are tight on the way down, you end up using them and going on the way up. So I'm telling you, the rules work both ways, and that's a beautiful move. That's a beautiful channel. Again, a channel is nothing more than the distance between two lines. You can use moving averages as channels. You can use the lines I draw manually. Like let's talk about the other one. I thought MAXN was the better one, right? I want to use the channel from this 24 to 44 because there's nothing, right? There's a whole mess of nothing. Hopefully green, right? With SAVA, good. With SAVA, the channel from the 20 to the 50 had red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 right? Like it was just, it is what it is. And those are beautiful technical moves right there. Truth be told, 68 is not that high a number. All right. The thing is, though, we are now coming up on the two hardest moving averages that we have. But I'm liking that MACD a lot. That's a really, really nice divergence. Divergence just means two lines going away from each other, right? This is making me believe that that thing wants to keep going up, up, up and into the positive. I zoomed in for nothing, right? Again, 68 is a little bit relatively low, and that's a nice little growth on volume right there, right? What's the weekly look like? Oh, man. It's the same battle on the weekly and the daily. What does that mean? Look, we have two moving averages that are coming up that we got to get over. On the daily, we got two moving averages that are coming up that we got to get over, and they're both basically at that $20 line. All right. Again, this is a good RSI on the weekly. It's obviously not a beautiful MACD, but I mean, it's not the ugliest I've seen. I've seen worse, right? I think the real important thing here really is that 2040 is going to be a very hard line. $20.40. The 200 here is $20.90, but again, we're counting pennies at that point, right? I think it makes sense to believe that we're going to come up to 19. Maybe we can even wick a little bit to 20. I think around there is where we'll see things look on the weekly. I'm very curious to see where this closes on Friday too. Obviously, there's still some time there, right? But how is this weekly going to end? Are we going to close over the 20? Or are we going to stay under the 20? I think that's going to be an important thing because, hey, if this week we can go over the 20, I'll be honest with you, next week I'm going to be thinking maybe we can go over the 50 and maybe we can peak around a 2160-ish, all right? There's a lot going on and it's going to be a pretty tough battle between, like I said, here and 20 and then again from 20 to 40. But I mean, sorry, from 20 to 24. But there's some nice percentages to be made if we make those moves, and there's some relatively, I don't want to say decent, but like decent channels. Like that's a 10% channel right there. That's a 20% channel. Yeah, 10%, 20%, right? You can't go wrong with that. Even this one's a little tighter. It's a little tighter. It's not quite 10%, 10%, but again, you can play your risk tolerances. I would say this, if we break that 20 moving average right here at almost 21, I would like to ride that up to 25. That's actually really pretty right there. This for sure was the prettiest because again, that's what a good channel looks like, right? So volume is doing really well. It actually is. Obviously, it did really bad on this gap down. I have no idea what happened right there. Maybe it was earning. I have no idea. I'm not even going to try to guess, right? But we've been over that 50-day line, and you can see it's been a struggle for a good while, right? And it seems like the volume is improving. I don't know if we're going to hit this and kind of reject down. That kind of seems maybe likely to me, but if we hit the 200 and reject down, we have several moving averages that'll hold us, and really it seems like the 8 and the 20 are going up. As long as you're over the 8 and the 20, that's actually bullish. And as I zoom out and I look at this thing, it doesn't happen a lot, but like this thing does know how to ride and bounce the lines. Like this thing went from August to October just bouncing the lines. This one was the most significant, right? Like it just went for months and months and months just bouncing, and it knows what to do, right? It's been a while since it's been there, but keep those lines friendly and let's see what this thing can do. So yeah, this is looking great. It really, really is actually. All right. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Hey, thank you so much.